Episode 1, Tailgate Talk. Got Jason to my left, Garza to my right. Today's the 15th. It's about 45 minutes before game time. USA versus the Dominican Republic. I mean, well, since I brought that up, like, what are you guys' expectations for tonight's game?
I'm seeing the lineup. I think most of the moves that should have been made, more or less, were decided. I think, I'm seeing the chronological order. I'm seeing guys swapped out that I think needed to be swapped out. Some of the big changes that we saw. And before I get sidetracked on this, right? I mean, obviously Will Smith is in that lineup.
Should have been from the beginning.
So, Will Smith going into that lineup, does that leave us with a conversation that maybe he is the best catcher in the game right now? I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I was saying in the group chat a couple days ago, like, and obviously it might seem a little biased, right? Like, me and you are huge Dodger fans, Yankee guy over here, but like genuinely, other than Real Muto, man, I don't see anybody else that kind of comes close to him. I mean, Kirk is good behind the dish. He's a great hitter, but obviously, like, on the heavier side, doesn't run as well. But I just feel Will, man, like, and it's like specifically like in the big games, bro. He's been there, done that. He's won 2 World Series with the Dodgers, like one when he was a kid in 2020, or he's won 3 actually, right? So like, as far as like championship pedigree, like been there, done that. Look at the resume. Like we had the conversation about him or Cal Riley, and I mean obviously, right? Like the season that Cal Riley had last year was insane. Yes. But me personally, when I factor in like championship pedigree, look at the resume of like big situations. Like, he hit the go-ahead home run to win the World Series last year. Like, and then there's just his success in the WBC, like in these 5-6 games that they played. Like, he's been killing the ball. So it's like, I don't understand why, in my opinion, why there's even a debate why he's there. What do you think, Garza?
I mean, overall, he's definitely more clutch. I think like you said, the pedigree of being a Dodger is big. Him. Amongst other guys that I always feel like he's like kind of unsung or definitely underappreciated. He's not a big name, but he is clutch, and I think it just all goes down to Kyle Riley and the season he had. Kind of like what I was saying, they're basing that lineup off of that. And it's yet to show any kind of progress or do anything for USA. So I think overall, I think the move's right. I think there could be some other moves, but at the end of the day, I think tonight's gonna be a good game. If we give them, a few runs, if they can give Skeens, a good little cushion of 4 or 5 runs, before he comes out again, uncontrollable pitch count. I think it's gonna be a good game, and I think Will Smith will do a great job back there, just like Riley, and hopefully gets the hits. He needs to.
Because we kind of knew, right? But going into this, we kind of knew the guy that Will Smith is. But going into this, Cal Riley was the number one, right? I mean Will
definitely.
Smith was the backup.
If you're basing it off like strictly off last year, yeah, 100%. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy and be like, no, Will Smith, because he's a Dodger. No, yeah, it makes sense. But like, throw in, like I said, like the way he's been playing, I think he's offers. I don't think he's gotten a hit in this WBC.
I think so. I
mean, and granted, right, it's like they're still in spring training mode, but like playing for your country here, man. Like.
And Will Smith, to me, he's a guy. I don't know. There's something about him. It's like he takes his vitamins in the morning. You know what I mean? Like he does his taxes by hand. You know what I mean? Like he gets a clean shave when he wakes up and he goes against the grain. Do you know what I mean? There's something about that guy.
He's a go against the grain guy.
He still owns a Walkman.
Yeah.
And he makes his own mixtapes on the CDs.
He refuses to use AirPods, bro. He has strings attached to his earphones, bro.
And there's something about those guys that are kind of like a machine. Those autistic guys that are just business.
You say artistic or autistic?
I said autistic.
Okay.
We'll say acoustic for the sake of this podcast. These acoustic guys who just, they go against the grain. They take their vitamins in the morning, and they're watching the S&P 500. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of guy that Will Smith is. And whether it's cold outside, whether it's snowing, whether it's raining, whether it's October, whether it's the WBC, I think you know what you're going to get with Will Smith.
He's as automatic, bro, as it gets. The dude's a stud, man. And like I jokingly say this all the time. Like I think he's a prick. And like I'm a Dodger fan. Like, I mean, obviously, like you see whatever you see online is what you see, right? Like, but like just like the interaction with the Rosarena from last WBC, didn't want to shake his hand. Kind of a similar thing with Cal Riley this year.
We saw that with Cal Riley, and there was an interesting thing that what I've seen is that Will Smith added a little bit more to that story. And I think it changes completely the perspective of what we were able to see with just Arozarena and Cal Riley not shaking hands. And according to Will Smith, I don't know how accurate this is, but according to Will Smith, before the game, Cal Riley and Arozarena met up. They're teammates, right?
Yeah.
They shook hands. What's going on, Pops? They chopped it up. And before that interaction ended, Cal Riley says, hey, Arozarena, you're my boy. We're teammates. For the next 9 innings, we're competitors. And, I see a lot of guys getting real friendly with everybody while they're competing. Nothing against you personally. This is business. For the next 9 innings, me and you,
we're not teammates.
We're not teammates. So let's keep it that way. And so if that was said before the interaction, I think that changes the perspective completely.
It has to.
Oh, definitely.
It does, right?
I mean, I think it's like an unspoken kind of necessary. You step between the lines. It's game on. It's me versus you. It's the country that I'm representing versus the country you're representing. And at the end of the day, when that last out comes down to it, like, I want to be the one holding the trophy. Like, it should be known, And maybe afterwards, maybe during BP, hey.
Yeah.
But when that umpire says play ball, it's play ball. It's game on. That's what I think.
I mean, and you said unspoken, right? But the reality of the situation, like if what Jason's saying is accurate, it was spoken about. So like I don't feel like it should be a big deal in any sense of the word. Like, and I can understand the other side, right? Like it's like, dude, like you like give him a fist bump. Like if you're worried about the pints, I know that's a big topic. Then just dap him up with your glove. Dude, like it's a different kind of thing playing for your country than it is playing for your ball club. And like exactly like you said, bro. Like if they're talking about it before the game, why is it being built up? And I know Randy's kind of playing into it too. Supposedly, like I didn't see the video, but I read somewhere that he was saying like in like 4 different languages, like what the F is wrong with this guy, But it's like, dude, if you guys talked about it, I don't understand the big freaking deal.
If that's true, to me, it sounds like a gentleman's agreement.
Exactly.
It sounds like we've already addressed this, right? And so if you care about your relationship with your teammate, and we've already discussed this, what does it say that when the lights are on, when the stadium's watching, and when the media is recording, you decide to show him up in the exact thing that you two addressed? Who's the dick?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
If what everything you're saying is true, then it's 100% Randy. But like, I mean, I even last WBC, like going back to that, like it was built up into a big thing, and I feel like specifically on the Mexican side, like the Mexico team, like they like that fuel, bro. Like to me it ignites them a little bit more. It gives them something more to play for.
Yeah.
Especially against the U.S., right? Everyone like in that situation, like everyone's like the U.S. is the clear favorite or the clear better team. I mean, like we spoke about it before too, man. They had beaten us the last 3 WBC, so it's like. I know we weren't thinking that. I know we were worried about that the entire time. Like, oh, we got to beat Mexico. Got to beat Mexico.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. And especially, like, even here in El Paso, it's that whole – mainly here in El Paso and Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, you're going to have a lot of, Mexican-Americans, and they're going to be rooting for Mexico. And it is. There's that tension. Like, we know it. We see it more than the rest of the country sees it. And we see we want to be better, And at the end of the day, like, we're the United States of America, bro. Like – Screaming Eagle, Budweiser commercial, Clydesdale with an eagle coming over the hill. I mean, we're the team to beat. We got the mark on our back at all times. So, definitely with Mexico, that was a big one. And I think going forward with any of these teams, the DR, they're looking to come in and it's 2 all-star teams tonight. So it's going to be pretty good to see. And I mean, I think coming into it, the matchup's going to be tough with Severino and Skeens, but again, Skeens has been our Superman, and I mean, does the Dominican have some kryptonite? We'll find out.
And like honestly, like speaking on that, like genuine question, like you see both teams stacked up on paper, side by side. Who has the advantage offensively? Who has the advantage pitching wise? Like, what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I pulled it up. Skeens has the elite strikeout to walk ratio. Of course, the reigning Cy Young winner. Right now in the DR, Severino, he's allowed 1 run in the WBC. I mean, but who all have they played? They've just been demolishing people. It's going to come down to that. I think it comes down to a quick start offensively
for the U.S. Agreed.
And we need to see some fireworks. Those big sticks.
Pause.
Huh?
Pause. Yeah, you don't get it. Never mind.
Okay.
You get it. You understand, right? Okay, just.
And so I was looking at...
I'll explain this to you after, bro. You gotta get with the times, my boy. Jesus.
I was looking at Paul Skeen's I guess combined ERA facing those individuals in that lineup, and I don't remember the exact number, but to me, I think it was a rather impressive number. I wanted to say it was 1 something. And
Yeah.
you guys just spoke about the strength of that Dominican Republic lineup, and so I think that even speaks more volumes of what Skeens has done to those hitters.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the big three for the USA is going to be Judge, Harper, Schwarber, and then you got on the other side that Skeen's going to have to face Soto, Rodriguez, and Tatis, leading it off with the DR. So
And they got Vladdy too, man. Machado. They got Austin Wells is on their team. Correct?
yeah,
And they're stacked top to bottom, man. But like, I mean, like, you guys both played ball. Like, we all played ball. The best way to neutralize a great offense is a stud on the mound, which the U.S. has going into this game.
no,
I
definitely.
mean, Paul Skeens is, if not the best right-hander, top 3 best right-handers in all of baseball. So it's like, the way I see it is like lineup, guy, man for man, it's pretty even. You know, in some little situations you can kind of go either the U.S. or the Dominican, but as far as like the starting pitchers on paper, like before the game, I mean, I feel like the U.S. has to have the clear advantage, right? Like, I mean, Severino's a stud. He's a little bit older up there in age. Like, he's not as dominant as he once was. Like, compared to Skeens, you know, Skeens is a young 23-year-old that's, you know, throwing 100 and doesn't give a shit about anything. You know, he's in feel the strike zone up and he's hard to hit, man. So I feel like on paper to start the game, the U.S. has the advantage. But
If they do it slight. But yes.
But realistically, I don't feel like they have the advantage, man. They've been playing. Let's be real. They've been playing relatively ass, like not up to the expectations that they had. And granted, like we kind of spoke about this, like the DR's like this super team, right? There's the Avengers, the Latin Avengers, bro, if you want to call them, and they're relatively, in my opinion, there hasn't been too much crazy coverage on them. Like to me, it's kind of like they're playing with house money. Like they're this super team that's kind of like not, with zero expectations. It might be crazy to say that, but I feel like all the attention has been on the United States, just like it always is in Japan, in these international tournaments. So it's like the U.S. has been playing with all the pressure. The DR's kind of been ahead. Like you guys said, if the U.S. gets off to a freaking fast start, puts that pressure on them, like puts them in a situation they haven't been in this entire tournament, who knows, man? Who knows? It could go the U.S.'s way.
We were talking about the lineup adjustments, and one of the adjustments that was not made was Harper, who's I want to say somewhere around 1 for 22.
Something like that.
It is Bryce Harper, so I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, when the lights shine the brightest, can you put on that American flag cape and do some damage is the question.
I'd like to hope so.
You know, I love the swing. I mean, the guy is the epitome of, you know, just chaos in a swing. Like it's controlled chaos. The dude is, if he sees it and it's there, he's going to give it all he's got. And so we just got to hope that he can land a couple of, you know, good knocks, maybe put one in the stands, you know. But I think, you know, if he doesn't adjust and make it, I mean, in the game being as, you know, one and done, if he ain't getting done, then there has to be a change. You got to throw in Goldsmith. Screw it.
Yeah, and we kind of spoke about it on the way here in the group chat. Like, I brought it up where Goldschmidt supposedly is like the 5th worst hitter in all of the MLB against right-handed pitchers. So it's like it's kind of understandable why Harper's still in the lineup. Obviously, if there's somebody else behind him that can get the job done, or you know can be as good as him at first base, I think the change would have been done. But when the alternative is Goldie, and not saying he's not a great player because he definitely is, but he's up there in age and he's not the spark he once was, you know. So it's like you kind of have to, like, I think you alluded to it, like kind of hope like the risk of playing Harper is worth the reward, or it's like there's gonna be a reward at the end of the day. We're hoping for that.
I think the squeeze is not worth the juice to start Paul Goldschmidt.
I butchered that fucking saying.
As many things as I disagreed with Mark DeRosa about. Don't even start on that, right? I think keeping Harper in the lineup is the right call.
Yeah.
The gamble is worth the shot. Paul Goldschmidt is a little bit past his prime, right? That age is getting close to 40. I don't know exactly what it is.
He's almost fully bald too.
And I think you roll the dice with Bryce Harper. If the circumstances were different and that alternative player was somebody else, I think we would be having a different discussion. I know on the third base side, we're seeing Bregman being replaced by Gunnar Henderson, and you see when the backup is a young dog, then you can completely justify it. And I think Bregman has struggled at the plate. I think Gunnar has came out with a lot of fire. He's young. he covers the ground. He plays that position well, and I think it's a lot easier to say, Bregman, we're pulling you, and we're putting you with the young buck like Gunnar Henderson, as opposed to if you were on the first base side and said, Harper, we're pulling you for Paul Goldschmidt.
And I do like. I don't like that Bregman's not in the lineup, right? Because Bregman is a stud, right? But like you said, like we get Henderson, young. He's been having some success in the WBC, so it's another spark to add to the lineup. And then it adds Cal Riley and Alex Bregman both on the bench, both a lefty and a right-handed batter off the bench in let's say a potential tough situation, especially a guy like Bregman, man. Like he's won World Series with the Astros. Mm-hmm. The guy's been in huge moments. On the other side, Cal Riley, like he's played in some big games last year specifically, but hasn't been as successful. He's had some success, but not, something that's not the success of Bregman in big situations, but still, it's a big thumper, bro. Like have that left-handed back coming off the bench, so you got to still feel good about it, regardless of the situation.
It keeps some bullets in your holster
100%.
For a pinch hit situation that could be big down the line. We'll see how the game turns out. These Latin Americans, they play with a double-edged sword. And they play with a lot of emotion, and that's that double-edged sword that I'm talking about. Because when shit's going right, it just fucking snowballs. These guys are feeling everything. They're fucking chirping. They're talking their shit. And it depending on the other team, it can get to you, right? I mean, we saw this Venezuela played with that same energy, and they were able to bring some uncharacteristic traits out of Team Japan. But it also works in the other direction. Yep. It also works in the other direction. We saw how Ronald Acuna handles himself when adversity is faced.
Dude acts like a fucking high schooler, bro.
We see that. We see it in both directions. So if you can take that superpower that they have and turn it into the opposite direction, where it starts affecting them, where it starts, getting them in the shitter, where it starts they're getting in their own head now and they're using that energy against themselves, well, then that can be an advantage for the United States. They have to execute that today.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, definitely focused execution is going to win over emotion all the time, I think. I mean, that's something we preach all the time to our players. But, yeah, it's like if they get hot, they get hot. If they're rolling, they're rolling. And so it's like you can't let them get to that point. And, again, I mean, that's the one thing. It's like I think it comes down to that leadoff, who's it going to be, Tatis?
I believe so.
So that first pitch against, Skeens-Tatis matchup, that could set the tone, going forward. And Tatis doesn't have any prior ABs against Skeens, so it'll be his first time seeing that, and it'll just come down to see like whether he can get him to ground out or get him to strike out with one of his 7 pitches. I mean, I think the guy's gonna be locked. I think he, with his background, like this is his Mona Lisa tonight. Going into the season.
This is the biggest game this guy's going to pitch in the next 3 years, bro, with the Pirates team.
There's no USA, there's no Olympic baseball. What better way to show your pride for your country and dominate than to go out there and do it at this, on this level there in Florida tonight. So I think everybody's going to be hyped, but I think, I like Skeens. The dude's a machine. I think, and until someone can prove otherwise, then that dude's going to continue to, you got to tip your hat to him. The dude's a stud.
Mm-hmm. No one has proved otherwise just yet, right?
Yeah.
What is he, like his second, third year in the big leagues? Or is this
3?
I think it's going 3.
Going on 3 this year? Yeah, I mean the guy's a stud, man, and he was a catcher at LSU, right, or for the Air Force?
Air Force. Yeah, he went to LSU as a pitcher.
Dude's a stud, man. But yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. I feel like you got to think like you can't start Tatis off with a fastball.
I think these leadoff men are looking to ambush.
Bro, they have been.
They have been.
That's how they got Screwball, man. They freaking ambushed him.
So looking at it, Tatis has a high of 4 strikeouts so far. He's pretty high up there. Looking at the top hitters, O'Neal Cruz and Vladdy are in the top 10.
O'Neal Cruz is on this team too?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Center field.
These guys are stacked.
Bro. And then it's crazy. Like, so our best hitters for us right now, our best hitter is Gunnar Henderson.
PCA. Right? And
Bryce Terang. And then PCA is a little further down. But those two are in the top 10 in all of the World Baseball Classic right now.
And honestly, man, I'm not obviously a big Dodger fan. Not a huge fan of the Yankees. But I'm rooting for Judge to have his moment, bro. Like,
oh, yeah. We've yet to see it.
Yeah, especially like, I fell for the dude like in the World Series, man, when they played the Dodgers, like that, that drop fly ball, like you hate to see it, man. As a Dodger fan, we're like obviously like happy, because it worked out in our favor, but like for the game of baseball, bro, he's if not one of the biggest star in the MLB right now. So it's like you kind of want him to have success, especially when he's representing your country. So it kind of feels good. I kind of mentioned that to kind of get off to the side a little bit. I kind of mentioned this a couple days ago. Like, it kind of feels good to see certain guys play for Team USA and be able to root for them. Like
Yeah.
Bregman, for instance, Harper, Judge. Like, these are guys that they're on your team. Like, you're all about them, right? But obviously, when you're playing against them, not that you're rooting for their demise, but you're kind of rooting for them to have success against somebody else, not necessarily against you. So I feel like that's a good experience with the WBC for myself personally. Like, it's cool to be able to sit down and root for players that you normally wouldn't.
It's very uniting. The letters on the hat, the letters in front of the jersey, they bring guys from all different teams in the major leagues, and you get for 2-3 weeks you get to root for people that you never might have thought you were rooting for. And I would love to see Judge do some big things. The guy's got a lot of pressure on his back. Guy's a very talented guy, and I would like to see him prove a lot of people wrong.
Oh, he has to. I mean, three MVPs in 4 years, and then to get the torch passed from Trout to him to be the USA captain, that's at some point you got to put the team on your back. You got to do some big things. So, again, you could do that. I think you have more control of that as a pitcher. You can dominate. I think as a position player, it's like you can make plays, but if the ball don't go your way, it don't go your way.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your ABs, so you got to capitalize and you got to dominate there because, that's the only. I mean, that's what he gets paid the big bucks for. It's not roaming right field. It's putting balls in the stands and making plays with that 35-inch, freaking 33-ounce tree he swings. But
Swings a log.
yeah, it's just it's big for him, and I mean, none of us have ever been in that position. So, I think he's doing the best he can. I think at the end of the day, like, I was kind of thinking about it too. Like, all these guys come from all different backgrounds. They're all from different teams. But if you look at the DR, like, all these young guys, like, they've all crossed paths. They've all known each other probably longer. They've probably played in the DR at some point together or played amongst each other, probably a little bit closer. I mean, I think the chemistry build-up, the chemistry of the DR outweighs what the USA has. I think the USA is trying to put it together. Hey, here's the team, and they come together and they're trying to get that same chemistry. But I think that's a big thing that the DR has that America doesn't have. And then again, everybody's trying to live up to a standard. Judge has to be the captain. Harper's needs to be amazing per usual since he's been 16. That's his job. He's been amazing. Mm-hmm. Wearing the USA since he was 11. Wearing that USA jersey or whatever. So I think those are some of the differences that we see going into this game with the outlook on the guys, on their outlook of doing it. At the end of the day, they want to go out and do the best for their country, but I think America has a little bit tougher time.
100%. There's always going to be that pressure, like we said earlier. Like, the standard's always the U.S. or Japan. Not always, but in the last couple WBCs, right? And obviously, you always expect these Latin teams, the DR, the Puerto Rico, the Venezuelans. Even Panama wasn't too bad this year. But it's a different kind of pressure. And like the Garza was saying, like, these guys play together. And like it seems more like a brotherhood in the Latin American teams than anything. The U.S., it feels like we're gonna get the best guys from every single team or everyone that's American, the best guys, and just all right, put you in a room, figure it out for 2 weeks. You guys are expected to win, make it work. So there's a different kind of pressure when it comes to that. But
I was talking with my brother and my father the other day, and we were discussing the different sports and the appeals to them. And I've heard this term used before, but my dad refreshed my memory on it, and he says the thing about baseball is that it's so romantic. And he used that term romantic. And I've heard it before, right? Like I said, but it just refreshed my memory. And that romanticism with the sport, you mentioned the brotherhood. You mentioned the camaraderie that comes along with it. And another aspect of that is that all these things that we've been talking about with Judge, the pressure, the failures of everybody, right? It's a game of failures. But the thing is, on a game like tonight, all can be forgotten. All can be forgotten. Judge coming up big to the plate, big situation. Even if you're fucking 0 for 3 before that at bat, when the time comes, if you can execute it, there's nothing more romantic than this game. All can be forgotten, and you always have another chance to keep your name on that pedestal that people have put it on.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
I mean, the game it's a cruel one, man, and it's 1 second it loves you, and the next minute it wants nothing to do with you. And like you said, one big hit, one big play, one big, throwing a runner out at home to save the lead, all's forgotten. It's just now all they're going to remember is that, just like You know, back, what was it when, who was it that robbed the home run those years back? It was
Jones.
Yeah.
What's
Jones.
his name?
Adam Jones.
Adam Jones, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But like it was that, like that's all you remember from that. What called the?
Yeah, he robbed Machado, right?
Yeah.
In deep center.
That's what you remember about that WBC. You don't remember how many strikeouts he had, or
I remember
it was
Hosmer
that play. It was
catching
that
ball
the
and
moment that he
fucking
made.
USA across the chest.
So you know, definitely. I mean, and I think that's what's beautiful about this game. It's like it is like people like find it hard to watch. You know, people want instant gratification with knockouts in MMA or big touchdowns on football, but like at the end of the day, there's clocks in MMA, there's clocks in football,
soccer, all that.
Football, soccer. You get the ball to your playmaker, and you make that's the thing. If we could have Judge or right now PCA, that dude's been hot. Have him swing 8 times out. Like no, you can't. Like everybody has to go up. Everybody has to pay their dues. Everybody has to go up there and face that pitcher. And I mean, I think that's at the end of the day, there's no getting around it. Like everybody has to step up and be a man. And I think that's a part of America. I think that's a part of my love for the game is. At the end of the day, like you got to go out there and make something happen. I can't say Skeens can throw a gem, but he can't hit a home run. And it's it's beautiful. It really is. And Witt Jr. with those plays he's made in the 6-hole, like golly, man, that's ain't nothing more. Beautiful than that, maybe than senior kid born.
100%.
But dude, like it's just, and people don't get it unless you've ever been in that position. I've never been in that position because I've never played short, but to have that kind of range, to make those types of plays. It's beautiful. Like it's a highlight. It's something that it's timing, it's anticipation, it's glove transfer to hand, making a perfect throw to first, like all that stuff. I don't know. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful double play is gorgeous to me.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you described it you articulated that like really well. I feel like people that didn't haven't played baseball or don't know that feeling. Like you said, like it's like one of those things you have to experience. You have to like see like firsthand or do firsthand to understand that. And I mean, in my opinion, baseball's the greatest game that there is, man. Like you said, like there's no clock. Like you got to give the other man a chance to beat you. Like at the plate, obviously you can walk right, but as a pitcher on defense, you got to throw the ball over the plate. You got to throw strikes. You got to give that guy an opportunity to beat you. And that's like you got to go out there and you got to beat somebody. You can't wait off a flag or a technicality or kicking the ball around, whatever the case may be. Like you got to go out there and win it, and that's why I love it, man. It can't be scripted, bro. Like it is what it is. The game's played, and whatever happens, and I love that shit, man.
There was an individual last baseball season that I just gave so much heat to. I said, this guy does not have the bat speed to play at this level. He does not have power. He does not have the range. He's old. I said, why is this guy such an important component to this team? He always had a lot of respect. A lot of people always say, oh, this guy's a future coach.
I know what you're talking
about.
And
I was, the whole season just giving him a hard time, right? And that guy if he never got another hit in his life, I wouldn't care.
Wouldn't
if he
matter.
never fielded another ground ball, because, the bottom of the 9th in Game 7, Miguel Rojas popped one out when he had to.
Shout out to Miggy Ro.
And that's the only thing I will ever remember about that man.
Dude, going back to that game specifically, man, like me and my wife are watching it at the house. I'm very intense when I watch baseball games, man. I'm almost like it's almost hard to watch a baseball game with me. Like I get into it, like sometimes my reactions are a little like out there, sometimes I'm pissing, I'm moaning, all everything in between. So the last 3 innings of that game, I'm sitting there with my hoodie on, just like with that 1,000-mile stare, like, dude, we just lost in 7 games to the Blue Jays. Like I can't not even open my phone. My friends are gonna be talking shit. Like, you guys are the best team in baseball, and you guys can't even beat the Blue Jays, this and that. And then, dude, like the feeling of hearing the fucking ball hit the bat and seeing like the reaction of like the Blue Jays and the fans, bro, just completely silent, dude. That was one of the better memories I have watching baseball, specifically Dodger baseball. Like that was insane. Man. You're absolutely right. Like Miguel Rojas can literally just, hey, hang him up, right? Like we'll pay you this $8 million, whatever we signed you for this year, to sit on the damn bench, bro. You don't got to do anything anymore. Mm-hmm. That guy's never gonna have to buy a beer or a meal in the Los Angeles city limits, bro. So what a guy.
Yeah, that was a hell. I mean, and then you guys being Dodger fans, like we were all at our own houses watching the game, but we were together on the chat and just like knowing, like, in the whole chat, like I kept saying, like, hey, dude, it ain't over till it's over. I kept being like, hey, dude, like baseball's a funny game, dude.
We
like,
were the negative Nancy,
yeah,
bro. Like,
and like
fucking done, bro.
Like,
we're done.
When that happened, I was like, dude, I can only imagine like what's going on at your house and your house, like the craziness, like. But like, you know, being on the outside, not being a Dodger fan, you know, I mean, I'm a baseball fan in general. Like that was the best World Series I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Dude,
overall, it had its ups, its downs, it had its crazy plays, its controversies, it had everything. And then for somebody, it wasn't Ohtani that hit that ball out. You know, it wasn't freaking, you know, the
Mookie Betts, free
yeah,
like
Betts. It wasn't any of their top guys. It was a guy that probably shouldn't even be on that team, like you said. Like he's not a Dodger, but he is forever a Dodger. You know,
100%.
from now on,
Build a statue of that guy.
It is, and like I think it's funny because like now on the outside of that, now going into the USA, it's like we're all in that same boat to where I've been just as negative and being like frustrated as we go.
Yeah,
watching this game, but
I'm glad that there's always one of us to kind of steer the ship when that negativity kind of consumes us because it will. It seems like one of us always is like the guiding light. Like, hey, fellas.
Hey, let's simmer down here, throw in an Alp, throw in a little lip pillow, and relax. It's gonna be all right.
No, definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about. Having your boys to keep you going.
And so we just talked about that a great series. How I think it was the greatest series of all time as well. And look at all the adversity that came with it. And so there's a saying that goes, if there's no light without dark.
Yep.
Right. And so right now we're in the middle of this WBC, and you know, all we're saying and all we're hearing is the United States has not played to expectations. They have not. They are the super team on paper. They are the machine, and they have not lived up to it. And so, perhaps, boys, this is our adversity. This is the adversity. We're almost eliminated. We were almost eliminated in that Italy-Mexico game. It was kind of it was out of our hands, too, right? And so we've seen these aspects of adversity, and perhaps that's what makes great series. And I hope tonight I'm proven right with that.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. I mean, the hopes have been like, yeah, we should go out there and we should beat every team 20-0, but it hasn't been the case. And
that's baseball, though, man.
You know, like you said, man, the adversity's there, and that could be it. You know, and let's see how they handle tonight. So, I don't know. I'm excited for it. We got like 13 minutes before first pitch. So
yeah, just real quick before we wrap it up, your guys' thoughts on the Italy and Venezuela game tomorrow?
I think no matter the way it plays out, I think Italy should be very proud of themselves. I think a lot of times, as we've seen in baseball, the best team doesn't always win. It's a team that clicks at the right time. It's a team that gets hot at the right time, and the team that executes. They have made amazing defensive plays. They're playing with a ton of grit, and they're beating Goliaths. And it's not just one. They've
one after the other.
They're one after the other. They've beat a few, so I think Italy should be very proud of themselves. And I hope the winner of that game is playing the United States.
Agreed.
Later on.
Yeah, definitely another rematch. But I think Italy, like, I mean, again, really it's a bunch of American guys with Italian descent. They got some studs. Like, I think they were underlooked.
100%.
For sure. Like, it's like, oh, you know, it's pizza makers. You know, what are they going to do?
You know, but
they were over there taking espresso shots and putting balls in the stands. So I think, you know, they're that 16 seed in the March Madness that's getting into the Final Four. Like, they shouldn't be there.
Very well said. Shit.
But
Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Cinderella
so,
story.
I mean, keep it going. You know, best of luck, Italy, until you see us. And hopefully this time it's a different story and we show you what America's made out of, because it is our ball game. So
100%.
Like that.
Yeah, and just like one last quick thought. Yeah, I think regardless of anything, like you guys, I mean, there's not much else to say. You guys said it pretty well about Italy and Venezuela, but I think more than anything, it's gonna be a fucking great game.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
both, like I mean, Venezuela coming off that Japan win, huge, bro. Like huge momentum shift. Italy that has had momentum the entire WBC. You know, they're like Jason said, they're beating Goliath after Goliath. So I think regardless, like it's gonna be a great series, and like you guys said, hopefully the winner of that game is gonna play the USA in the championship. But yeah, hey fellas, it was a great time. You know, episode 1. Hopefully some more episodes to come.
Definitely.
So, yeah. We'll see you.
Signing out. We'll see you. Enjoy the game.
USA,
Until
baby.
next time. USA. Let's go.
Yes, sir.